in this, I'll just give you a basic introduction, what quality assurance is all about, how it is being used, why we require quality assurance, what is the basic need for a software to be tested. So these are the basic rough questions that appears in your mind once we hear the term quality assurance. So I'll make sure all your basic questions and concepts are clear in this module. Then we have second module, that is life software development life cycle and quality standard. So once you are clear with the concepts that testing, software testing, what it is all about, why we require this. So the second thing that might come in your mind, that how do we implement that? What are the processes to do that? So that process is known as software development life cycle. So once a software is being developed, it has some stages. Stage 1, stage 2. Stage 1 is suppose requirement gathering, what all requirements need to be gathered. Stage 2 is limitations, what all limitations it has. Stage 3, coding, that is development part. And stage 3, testing. So there are many certain stages in a development of a complete product. Suppose I'm an industry, I develop, suppose bottles, water bottles. From quality assurance and testing needs to be done into that phase. It's not just when a bottle is prepared, water bottle is prepared, I need to do testing. It can be done from the very as well, because we are talking about software industry. Testing is required at each and every phase of development of a product. So it's very important part of any product or service company. So I'll make sure you know the knowledge of all those processes. Then second thing, what are the testing concepts? Manual testing. Once we know what module 1 is, once we know what is testing, module 2, how it is being done during the process, and what are the processes, module 3 is what all are the processes we can use for a testing process, for a testing concepts. What are different types of testing that can be done on any product or any software. So all different types of testing I'll be teaching in module 3, so that once any product is being given to you, you can easily implement different types of testing on that and come up with the best result. So module 4 is requirements and configuration management strategy and defect lifecycle. So basically, once you get any defect, I told you, suppose I have given a pen to you for testing, and you find a defect in this, what all priority or what all importance you need to give to that defect, how you need to follow up to that defect, how you need to make sure it is being fixed into that certain production. So you need to convince that once you log a defect or once you have find any problem into a software, you are following it up as well. And last and not the least, that is module 5, that will take you to the testing tools and automation. So after covering up the manual area, we have different types of tools that does not require much of manual interaction, but still it is very important because it will make the manual task easy enough to handle multiple projects at one time. So we have different testing tools into the market, performance testing tool, automation of any script testing tool. We have for automation we have Selenium, that is open source UFT or QTP, and Jira, Load Runner. We have different types of tools. Many of you might be hearing these terms for the first time, but believe me, once you go through all the concepts, it's really easy enough to work on them, because many of them are open source and they are very common into the market. So once you learn even one tool, you can easily work on other tool as well. So the main idea is to get clear concepts. What testing is all about, how is testing used into IT industry, how we can implement testing on any product, and then you will be easily able to handle any software. So it's something like, chopping and arrangement of spices. Then you can cook. Once you learn cooking one dish, then easily you can learn cooking another dish as well. So it's just an icebreaker you need to have. Okay. So if it's good enough for everyone, shall I start with the first module, or you have any question? Okay, I don't think anyone have any query, so I'll start with the module 1. In case you find or you don't find any topic and you're not able to understand, just let me know. So in the first thing we have Introduction to Quality Assurance. I'll be giving you a brief overview what quality assurance is all about, why we require quality assurance, and what testing is all about, why it is being required, and what quality. There are many terms: quality assurance, quality control, verification, validations. These are very basic concepts of the testing and very major concepts of testing. Once you become a tester, what will be your role, what will be your responsibilities, what all career opportunities you have in testing field. So basically testing is a very important part into the industry, along with the development of the product. I'll give you an example. Suppose you have some guests, you're expecting some guests in your house, and your mom is cooking some food or dishes for them. She's preparing a food, any kind of dish particular for your guests, and she might have taken 1 hour, 2 hours to prepare that particular dish. But in case she doesn't do a testing on that, or she doesn't taste that dish before serving it to your guest, do you think it is good enough?
No.
It's good idea to directly serve to your guest? I don't think so. No?
No.
Because it might be having some problems. The salt might be more, or the spices might not be according to the expectations. So that is how, in short, a very rough way testing is all about. She do taste before serving to the guest. She tastes herself, or she'll ask you to taste and tell her what all more requirements or more additional spices or anything is required in that dish. So that is initially is called testing. It starts from the home itself. That is called testing. Once a product is being developed, and before we hand over to the customer, we'll make sure it is good enough to be used by the customer or to be had by our guest. So we make sure that the product, whether it's a food dish or whether it's a software, before it's being served to the customer, it's in best state. Okay, so that's what testing is all about. And make sure the product is good, defect free. So let me take a term, uh, software testing. Software testing is, as I introduced you with an example of food, Same we take with food software. So it's a complete process. In It's not a single day or single one task I'll be giving you end of the day and you will test it. No. If you want a good quality product, it's a complete process for a time being. It's not a one-day task. It has certain processes, it has something stages. So we need to follow all those processes and make sure the software is bug-free. So let me take the term bug. What do you get, what do you feel when you or understand by the term of bug? Bug is known as a defect, and you might aware of the term defect. Suppose you have ordered something online, and sometimes we return that back to the online. Any marketing or sales, Amazon. Suppose I have ordered something from Amazon, and once I receive that thing, I'll find it defective. Now you can make sure what I'm talking about a defect. Whether it's a cloth or it's a shoe or anything, a defect is something which is not as per the expectations. Then we go and return back that stuff because we found and we complain that the particular stuff is defective. How we get to know that that stuff is defective? Because you saw something on online but you got something else. So the actual result what you got is different from the expected result. When these two things does not match, then we raise a defect or bug for that particular software. So that is not known as or identified as a defect. So testing is something we need to make sure our particular software is a defect-free or a bug-free software. Okay? Why do we need to make sure all these things are not present into the particular software? Suppose the first thing, major thing of being a tester or quality assurance is that you make sure that the particular software is of best quality. So I'll suppose I have given a laptop for testing to Yashoda. So right now she's a tester for me. I am a customer and she's a tester. So the first thing she needs to make sure when she returns it back to me to work on, it should be defect free. It should not have more defects or any problems for me on future to work on. And suppose if the display is not proper or a keyboard is not proper, I'll raise a question to Yashoda that why you have not tested it properly. So the quality assurance is also playing a major and important role into the software industry. It's not just a testing, it also plays a very important part for a product to be released. And if I tell you, you are a quality assurance person, once you say that product is not feasible enough to use, you can stop the release as well. You have that much of power in your hand. So you need to just make sure that you are testing any product properly and you have importance into that development of that product as well. So qualities need to be maintained of any software. Quality is something which makes sure that it is good enough to use for further future releases. And during testing, I'll be teaching you'll be hearing these terms validations and verifications a lot. So I'll be explaining in future or further slides what validation and verification is all about and what is difference between these two. So all these combinations, a defect-free software, a good quality software, a validated and verified software, All these combined is known as software testing. Okay, and when we come to quality assurance, it's something on a larger scale of software testing. Called software testing is a chunk of it, and assurance is a larger on a broader way. So all the proper stages are done with the testing, and how they will be done, what our processes will be followed in that, all needs to be covered. It's a systematic way to evaluate the quality of product or any software. So I'll be giving you stages to follow a software. So if I give you a pen to test, first thing you will know the expected result is to be of red color, and suppose it comes to be of blue color, there itself you'll say that testing is not proper or the product is not as per expectations. So this first type of testing you have done is a visible or GUI, user interface testing, that is known as interface. First you have seen the product, and your first reaction to that, how it is easy to use or what is the expected color. This is one of the process to test, that is known as user interface testing. Then you will come and start writing with the pen, that is a different type of testing. Then you will see that is that pen portable enough to carry anywhere, or I can take the pen along with me, or I can easily keep. That is one type of testing. Then if I can, is that pen waterproof, or that ink whatever I'm writing with is waterproof or not. That is one type of testing. So all these testing, you might got an idea. I have given you different type of testing in one product pen. All these testing stage by stage are combined and come to a term of quality assurance. So these all process from the very initial to the last of use of the product, all these combined to give you a complete quality product. So that is known as quality assurance. And for each testing of this, that is known as software testing. So these two things are vice versa, interacting with each other. So the first question comes to our mind, is testing a technical role? The first thing that comes to anybody's mind who is not from technical background or who is not into IT industry. So I might be willing to switch to testing, but it might be very technical or it might not be technical. Few have the question that, okay, it's a technical stuff, shall I switch to this technology or not? And the second has that, okay, it's not technical, I should not go for this, maybe I should go for something more technical. So the answer for this is yes and no, both of these, combination of this. It's a technical role, but yet not so technical. It's a combination of both, because testing plays, as I told you, is a crucial role in IT industry. But once you start with it, you does not need to have any importance. It's not required that you need to have any major experience or knowledge on computer science background. It's something I have, you might be installing different types of software into your computer. So you just read the instructions and start downloading it. You don't need to be a IT administrator to download a software, I guess. You just read the instruction and you try to download that. If you face any further issues, then you contact your IT person. But initially, you don't need that. So it's something like that. You need to just read the instruction. You need to have idea about testing, and then some real scenarios. Then you can easily start working on testing. It's not a very rocket science. It's easy to work on. So we have different types of testing. So the major part that we divide testing is on is manual testing and automation testing. So I'll give you an example of manual testing. Suppose there are people or a software which we give up. I have given you a product. Suppose I have given you a mobile phone to test. So I have given you iPhone 7 to test on. That is latest to the market right now. So let us take iPhone 7. I have given you to test iPhone 7. So you can do two types of testing. First, you will open a WhatsApp or any application or Gmail, and you will start testing that how is the browser speed is good enough, or is it I'm able to work on all the contacts are saved properly, and I can add more contacts, or WhatsApp is working properly, or Gmail is working properly. These are all things a manual tester can do. You cannot record a software to open a WhatsApp and then work like further on these multiple tasks. You need a manual tester for this. Is the software hanging, or there is any hanging problem in the software? Initially, it should not hang. It should be able to have a large storage space. It should have a good GB RAM. All these things, and if a browser, the camera quality should be clear. So there are certain things which need to be done by a manual tester only. Suppose I ask you to test the camera quality of a software or an iPhone. Maybe you can make an idea with pixels, how much pixel it is all about. But end of the day, you need to have a direct eye interface of the picture quality. You cannot make a software to just roughly test the quality of that picture. You need to have a manual interaction that what is the quality of that picture. That is done manual testing. And automation testing is something like you need to make sure that there are some 100 requirements I need to test you. You need to test. I give you a product to test. Again, an iPhone. Then you need to make sure all these softwares are working properly and according to the expectations. So for certain areas, you don't need a manual interaction. I give you a Gmail, and if you will be happy enough to know that you can automate a Gmail. You can compose a mail, you can write subject, content in that, and you can send a mail, and you can also check that you have received a mail. For all these things, you can reduce your manual stuff and you can automate these things. We have also automation testing software in the industry already. So all these things, and you need to check the performance as well. There are softwares like load runner and etc. to check the performance. It is good enough or to work on future scale. So these all things come into the performance testing, and this then directly comes into automation testing. So there are two different terms, manual testing and automation testing. So we'll take automation testing after we complete the manual testing and we get familiar with the testing terms. So initially, if I start with automation, you all will be worried what it is all about. It's so difficult to learn. No, I'll go step by step. So I'll make sure your concepts of testing are clear, you're good enough, strong enough to grab the further technical terms. So let's go to the what is testing all about. So as I told you, it's a complete process, it's a complete plan. There are different types of testing. As I given you example of a pen, how all things can be tested on a only a small pen. You can do different types of testing as I told you. So think about the software. There are multiple types of testing you can do on a software. So there need to be you need to have a proper plan. randomly you cannot test things on a software. You need to have a proper plan, you need to go stage by stage, then you can make sure the quality is best. So we'll cover all those stages one by one and we'll complete this manual testing task. Then the one neat thing, some people might be having a good communication in this class. They want to go to a technical term, but they yet want to have an interactive technical term or job into IT industry. So the good thing is that testing is not a boring job. Usually what we think is technical job is something I'll be sitting in front of computer, I'll be coding something and I don't have anything else to do, I'll be going back home. No, it's a very interactive and good job. You'll be having lots of scope to communicate, to have interactions, to have uh, sessions to communicate from. So you are the point of contact. You need to contact to the developer that whatever software he has given you. Suppose I am a developer. I have developed some software and I give him Avinash to test a software, or as I told you, I have given a phone Avinash to test on. So he need to come back to me and get what all things I would want him to test, what all application he wants me to test, what all requirements. He might need to have some more interaction with me. If he doesn't know how to handle application, he doesn't need to worry. He'll come back to me and ask me that, okay, I don't know how to sign into that application. I need to check it. And what does all this application do? It's my responsibility. I just explain him, then further he can test it on. But it's not his headache that how he'll start the testing process. If he has any issue, he just need to come back to the developer. If he want, and suppose into that particular iPhone or something, he wants some more enhancements. He is having that I can say power enough that he can raise an enhancement for it. He can ask the product owner or some technical person or salesperson to increase the screen size or to change the color of the phone or to add more features into that. So for all these you also need a good communication skills. It's not just you will prepare some report and give to the developer or give to the product owner or to your manager. You need to also interact with your team, with different teams, with different clients, with different customers. So it's a combination of communication job as well. So it's not a boring job. Once you are into this, obviously you will communicate, you have good leadership qualities, you will interact with people, you will increase your thinking pace. So once you are doing the testing, the good job is that you will also have a power enough to think out of the box. You can handle critical things, you will be handling crucial things of a software. So you'll make sure you can suppose I have given a login page or I have given you a login page to application or a Gmail who have a login page. What you will do, you will enter your ID. Suppose my ID is shivani@gmail.com and I'll enter my password. A normal user will do these two things only. But what a tester will do, all of you start thinking like a tester. Whosoever is attending the classes, just make sure you are into that direction. Once you are getting a concept, start thinking like a tester. It's not a tough job. So what a tester will do, he'll not just enter his email ID. So suppose there is email, he will not just or that person will not directly, she will not enter his or her ID. They will do something different. He'll into the ID Can I add numerics to that ID? Can I write Shivani143@gmail.com? Can I give password which only have alphabets in this? Because you might have seen we get a error while resetting a password that you need to have some special characters as well, or you need to have some numeric characters as well. So without that, am I able to set a password? If it is so, that is a defect. It should not allow you to set a password which does not have any special character or numeric character, because as a general user you might have seen in on a Gmail site there are errors or any pop-ups coming up that you need to have special character or a numeric character into your password. If it is not happening, that's a defect. So you need to think differently. It's not only a set of rules you will follow, it's something like you have to make sure you're breaking the rules. You make sure if I do this, what will happen? If I do another way, what will happen? Expected result at end of the day should be same. If I am expecting all these things to be set, all these four things need to be in my password, all these things should be there. If it is not happening, then it needs to be a issue of concern. So we need to think out of the box once I'm working as a tester. So see, we can see all the things are there. It's a communication, a job with a communication as well, interaction, a good knowledge base as well, and you have a scope to think different as well. And obviously, technical terms, few of them are always there. So it's a combination of all the things, and slowly and steadily, you will become the domain expert as well. Suppose any one of you get a job into a software company. There are multiple software companies, but there are software company which deals with development of sales. Suppose you get any one of you get a job in Amazon. So your domain will be website testing. You will be testing websites, and you will be having a domain knowledge as well. See, what is the difference between a developer or any other scope, marketing person or any other person and a tester? The good part is that tester will be having idea about all the areas in a product. Suppose a website is there, a developer will produce or develop a certain area in that, or HR will just use it to log in. You won't be having a complete access, or a sales marketing person will just have an idea about the sales area. But a tester, as a tester, you will be having idea where my product will be used, what all customer I have. That is comes to sales area. How my development is being product, that is a development area. And communication skills are always there. So it's a combination of all the things. So easily and slowly you tend to get domain knowledge as well. So if you're working in oil and gas company or a mechanical company you are from, the good point is that mechanical people can easily get testing job in oil and gas product based companies. There are companies which produce their own softwares, but they want domain experts. So people who are from computers or mechanicals, they can easily get job in those product companies, or those kind of company, because they need some domain background as well. And people who are not from these mechanical and domain, they can easily get into different domains, suppose website testing, or suppose a game testing. I have developed a game. You need just to test the game manually or automatically. So that's a domain anyone can work on. So it depends. Excuse me. So your domain knowledge will definitely help you. You can make it is a strong point to get into IT industry once you are into that technical role. So domain is also important, and if you doesn't have any domain, slowly and steadily you will tend to get a domain expert. So it's all about ability of good understanding about the application, knowledge about the architecture. Slowly, once we cover these manual stuff, you will able to write the code as well and deal with the databases as well. Then you will be having real-time interactions, and you will be easily able to get a idea on all these things. So, as I told you, the first question will arrive: why testing is required? Why a software need to be developed? I can just directly hand over to the software once it is being developed, and I can start with the sales and marketing of it. But testing, as I told, it's not only about finding defect. We need to make sure it's of best and good quality for further use. I have given you a product, but it's not sustainable enough, or it does not support for future scope. You know, right now there is a tough competition between the company. Once a phone is not doing well, or it has some hanging problem, or software it does not support, you'll definitely make sure you get another phone. So it will be a loss to that particular product company. So if suppose I give you a phone which does not support WhatsApp, will you be taking that phone? How much good it is? No, I don't think so. Because WhatsApp, Gmail, all these things are very important in daily basis, or very I can say most popular on-demand applications. So even though the browsing speed of this phone is very good, or it can has a large amount of GB storage, all these things, but it does not support WhatsApp, its sales or marketing will be half what it is supposed to be. So the testing, so that is the thing, that testing needs to be done very properly on that scale, that it does support all the things to sustain future on the future prospecting. If software need to sustain into the market, you need to make sure it is of best quality for maintenance and further phase. If it is not, for the first month it should, if it is working proper, and in second month it's not working proper, definitely we'll lose customers, we'll lose the quality. It will not give a good impact on the customer. So there's a point that says improve the quality, reliability and performance. So reliability and performance is also a major area into the tester's role, that it should be reliable enough for the future, to sustain into the future market, and performance should be good enough, and validate with the compatibility that we know. uh, so we have Windows phone, we have iPhones, we have Android phones. So all these phones have different compatibilities. You might be aware of this is something generally we use. Phone is something we use daily. So there are certain applications which Windows phone does not support. There are certain things which iPhone does not support. Suppose it does not have that Bluetooth connectivity. It can only connect directly with iPhone. So these are something which compatibility issues, all these things have. So on a general basis, as daily basis also, you are a tester. You test before buying a phone. You enter to a shopping mall or complex. You are testing a product. If I give you some amount of money and ask you, okay, Yashoda, you can go buy a phone. So you will not go just straight away go and take that amount of phone. Suppose I have giving you some bugs, and you will not go straight away and buy a phone. You will do some testing, some analyze some things that which phone is of good quality, which is more reliable, or which phone does have more performance, which is more sustainable to the market, which is more popular, which have good rating, which has good storage area. All these will combine to give a compatibility. So all these things have a combination of these things, and it does have the actual result should match the expected result. So that is the first thing we'll make sure in our mind, that actual result is as equal to the expected results. These two things should be equal to each other. I have given you something to, as I giving you example, that as of now I have given you many examples, even live examples. See the example of Amazon. We order something from Amazon, we expected something else, but we received something else. So these two things are not exact the what we want. So being a customer, expectation is something very important to go on a future basis. So these two things should match each other. And of course, the economy of the software and maintenance and quality. The software we want should be economic, and uh, it should be easy to maintain in future, and the quality. So because of all these things, the quality should be enough, it should be reliable, it should be compatible with different types of browser or whatever testing I'm doing. All these things are combination, so why testing is all required. So these terms are verification and validations are something which require more focus. So as of now, the main focus of mine was to make sure you people are familiar with the testing term, what is testing, why it is required, what are if I have been recruited as a tester, what will be my role, how to think in a testing direction, why testing is required. So all these things I wanted to highlight in your mind. And if you are working as a tester, how will be your role, or what will be doing into the IT industry. So these are concepts I hope all you have got an idea about. So if I think this is good enough for the first class, because we have introduced ourselves, we got an interactive session that what can I do, yeah, people are for different backgrounds, what are the scopes you have into this industry, what is the advantage of joining testing. So I think it's good enough to have this interactive session, and I'm happy that you all have your own questions. You have a mind to go in directions. If you have questions, then it means you can work further on this topic. So I think we can continue on the next class on further topics. Is it good enough for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. And I must say you all have some idea you want to join testing. So you have questions, that is good sign, because once you have questions, it means you can work into that direction. So I think if you have something more doubts regarding the registration and everything, how the classes will go on, you can directly contact Surendra. He'll be the point of contact. And if you want any links or you want to know anything more about MindsMapped, you can contact him. Okay?
I do
So
have
I
a
hope,
question.
yes.
Yeah, hi. Actually, is where's the place we can go and gather the materials? Like, like chapter wise? Is something available like a chapter wise, like a textbook kind of thing? Can we get the hard copy, soft
Yes.
copy, and can we make a hard copy out of it?
Yeah, we have knowledge base initially in the starting of the class.